Yes.
Think you're a Drake? Okay.
This is, I would say, arguably the gayest Star Wars, I think, by a considerable
The gayest
margin.
Star Wars.
And,
Am I gay? Yes.
well,
Yes.
So, Aristotle?
But that's simply not possible.
Why isn't it possible?
It's just not.
Why not, you stupid bastard?
I think that's the name of the new Star Wars franchise TV show that everybody's ragging on right now, especially season 3. Everyone's saying that season 3 is the pinnacle of cringe. You know, the lesbian couple who manifested twin girls, not using the Force, by the way, because there's actually no such thing as the Force, even though that's literally like the root lore of Star Wars. But now they've just decided to get rid of the Force because, you know, toxic masculinity.
All living things are connected by the same thread. A thread woven through all of existence. Some call it a force and claim to use it.
It's not the Force, it's the thread that binds us all together, and apparently only really can be used by lesbians of Star Wars. And then they manifested a twin girls using just the thread.
I carried them.
I created them.
So you see how this is going, and apparently they're in hiding, this lesbian couple, because like women like them can't exist because it's not 2024 and no one actually cares if you're gay. If you're gay, be gay. No one gives a shit, especially about lesbians. Not that no one cares if something horrible happens to them, it's just like no one's sitting around their breakfast cereal going, man, if it wasn't for those freaking lesbians. Like no one, like you're in no one's head, no one's thinking about you. However, as the progressive left have to continue this oppression rhetoric, they have to live in an alternative fantasy world where we still live in the 1950s, where women are extremely oppressed, queers are just bashed against the stone wall, and black people are still in chains and not allowed to use white bathrooms. They have to pretend we still live there, or their oppression narrative doesn't exist. It doesn't make sense when you compare it to actual reality. But anyway, lesbians cannot, they're not tolerated. Maybe this Star Wars era is set in the 1930s. I don't know. You would think if it's like futuresque, we will be even more progressive, but I don't get it. Anywho, everyone cringed at the whatever that sort of like chanting scene was, and everyone's saying that this episode, this franchise, is basically marks the end of Star Wars.
This is how it happened. This is how Star Wars died. I saw a lot of people talking about this on Twitter. This is the Acolyte, right?
Come, claim your destiny.
What the thread has tied together, no one can separate. The power of one, the power of two, the power of many.
What the fuck is this? This is Star Wars?
I don't know why anyone didn't catch up with that memo earlier on with all the other shit cringe fest shows that they've already made in the past. I think like if you went into watching this with high hopes, it's kind of on you. Like fool me once, shame on you. Fool me 2 times, okay, shame on you. Fool me 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. You're kind of the idiot now. I mean, they did say that it was going to be the gayest show ever. I don't know if that wasn't a clue.
this is, I would say, arguably the gayest Star Wars, I think, by a considerable
The gayest
margin.
Star Wars?
And, are you excited about that? Are you
Not the
bracing
gayest
yourself?
Star Wars. Not the.
It's pretty gay, let's be honest. Yeah.
Am I gay?
Are you-
Yes.
You will be gay. Sorry. You have no choice here.
And I think one of the people that created, like, I think the Lord of the Rings or something like that, he came out with a perfect statement to explain the cringe mess that all of these franchises have created, from Star Wars to the Lord of the Rings, completely destroying the lore and fucking over the fans, but calling them the problem.
George R.R. Martin calls out producers and screenwriters who change things from the books.
Interesting post by George on his blog. What's this? That was all back in 2022. Very little has changed since then. If anything, things have gotten worse. Everywhere you look, there are more screenwriters and producers eager to take great stories and make them their own. It does not seem to matter whether the source material was written by Stan Lee, Charles Dickens, Ian Fleming, Roald Dahl, Ursula K. Le Guin, J.R.R. Tolkien, Mark Twain, Raymond Chandler, Jane Austen, or well, anyone. No matter how major a writer is, no matter matter how great the book is, there's always seems to be someone on hand who thinks he can do it better, eager to take the story and improve on it.
Which is less white, less straight, and less male. That's it. It's not more innovative. It's not, you know, more creativity. It's not better acting. It's just less straight, less male, less white. And they think they're doing something. And I think the problem is, and some other uni kid explained this to me, the way that universities are teaching a lot of the kids that are in like liberal arts sort of courses is that they teach you to look at everything through the lens of dismantling the patriarchy or dismantling the power that the patriarchy yields. So if you read a book, if you watch a movie, if you watch a play, if you listen to a song, you're supposed to look at everything through that lens. And I think you're seeing the product of that where when it comes to making these new movies and these new TV shows, is that's why it's so hyper focused on dismantling the patriarchy, dismantling whiteness, because they've been taught through their universities to look at everything through that lens. Again, not to make anything better, just to make it less white, less male, and less straight.
The book is the book, the film is the film, they will tell you, as if they were saying something profound. Then they make the story their own. They never make it better though. 999 times out of 1,000, they make it worse.
The point of this video is not to actually critique, review, or criticize the show per se. I think there's plenty of reviewers out there that's already have done this, but there was a line in this show that really resonated with me because I think it's basically the objective when it comes to like neo-Marxist, the far left, progressive far left, is the power thing, right? It's not about dismantling power, because a lot of far lefties will say that we need to dismantle the power structure. It's not to dismantle power and disperse it back into the common man, right? It's not to give power back to the people, is they want the power for themselves. And I think that was just really interesting because that's always the mindset and the objective of these types of people. Like, they don't care that there's rich people. They don't care that there's company that's monopolizing on everything. They don't care about the corporations or the government taking control. They just want that control. They just want that power. If they would have just named it anything else besides Star Wars, I don't think anybody would have cared, because it's like they're trying to strip everything away from what Star Wars means. So why call it Star Wars? It's no longer Star Wars. But I think it's almost in a way to rewrite history. It's like, if we can just continue this going on, then maybe in 10, 15 years, the next generations won't even realize there was another Star Wars. This would always be Star Wars to them, just completely erasing the original concept of Star Wars. It's like they're trying to make the Jedi the bad guys, but really failed at the objective of doing that, because the Jedi didn't really do anything all that bad. It's almost like the script is very disjointed. Like, different people wrote parts of the script but never came together to put it together and see how it all fits together, because they keep like being like, they'll say one thing but completely prove themselves wrong the next scene. Like, there was a scene where they said that steel and metal or knives cannot just kill a Jedi, or this particular Jedi, the woman from the Matrix, but she's literally killed with a knife, like very easily actually. Then they say that the Force or the thread is not meant for violence, but then they use it for violence and aggression themselves.
You let go of me! Your enemies will not warn you before they attack.
So it's like you say one thing but then completely contradict yourself in the next scene. It just looks like this script is disjointed. Again, if the objective is to prove like the reason why we should hold the Force or the thread and we should have the power is because the Jedi are so evil, but you're not showing them doing anything evil. The only evil person is the psychopathic, sociopathic sister, the twin who wanted to kill her sister for just wanting to live her own life.
I'll kill you.
Seems pretty anti-freedom to me. It kind of seems like the gays, the lesbians are the baddies and the Jedis are the goodies. Like, he literally saved the twin sister. And again, I'm just so sick of these new woke progressive shows being made and pretending like they're doing something revolutionary by having a strong independent woman and having the gays in there and the blacks in there. You're not doing anything new. These things have been done already. There has been so many TV shows and movies going all the way back to the 70s, the 50s, the 60s, the 30s who've done this before you. But again, like I've said before, the progressive left have to create an alternative fantasy world for their oppression narrative to exist. So to them, this is the first time there was ever a strong lesbian couple in a movie. This is the first time there was a dark-skinned black woman in the lead role in a film, or at least in this episode. This is the first time that, you know, they had a lot of women together with pop. Like, no, this has been done multiple times throughout history, and it's been done well, and it's been received well. One in the past is the first Aliens. I forget her name, but Sigourney Weaver, I think that was her name. She was a strong, independent protagonist, right? She was also human, and like she also came off as realistic, but she was a strong woman, and people loved her. That movie and every franchise when she's in it does very well. Coming up to the present, you have House of the Dragon, where there's strong female characters in there. It's a diverse cast. There's gayness in it. And if you look at Allison's daughter, there's people with neurodivergency in the show. That show does very freaking well. You know why? Because they put a diverse cast in there without harping on the fact that there's a diverse cast. We can see with our eyeballs. You don't need to do a whole fucking press tour shoving it down our throats that there's gay people in it and black people in it and women in it. Keep pretending the reason why these shows fail is because there's gays, blacks, and women in it, but there's plenty of shows that have that don't fail, that they actually do really well. But again, their victim narrative has to exist in a fantasy and alternative reality. I'm not gonna continue to watch it. You can continue to watch it if you want, and I think like if they come out with a new series and it's the same crazy direction that they've been going in, I think that if you go in with high hopes again, you're the moron. Anyway, that's it, guys. I'm gonna go. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit the button to get notifications when I do upload. All of that really does help with the algorithm, guys. And if you'd like to support the channel even further, you can donate. My PayPal and Cash App link is in the comment section below, or you can super thanks, and you guys have an amazing, beautiful day. Bye.
You will be gay. Sorry, you have no choice here.